Where'd the cloud? Okay, so for the purposes of the recording, we're going to talk in this time until lunch, and it might not take the whole time, and that's totally fine, about Canvas. And so we moved from Blackboard to Canvas a few years ago. Who, by a show of hands in the room, has used Canvas before? Okay, so if you've not used Canvas before, look around at who had their hands up, because they're going to be your go-tos for asking questions. Our Canvas is built very similarly to UC's Canvas. And we're going to talk through a little bit about what the homepage and everything looks like and where you can find some things. And then we're going to play a little game of scavenger hunt and finding certain things that I will ask about, so you can get more comfortable searching in there. I think the biggest challenge that we find is that once you guys get busy, you have less time to like hunt through things, but it is all there. And the reason that it looks pretty bare bones right now is because we just want to slowly add things to the Canvas that you need. And if you don't need it yet, we're not adding it yet, right? So you'll slowly over the next couple of weeks start to see the entire semester built out. In about October, we will invite you to a second course, and that will be for spring semester. So while LEND is a year-long program, we do kind of have some things that are just first semester. And so you have your fall course in Canvas, and then second semester, your spring course in Canvas. Yes. Oh, internet, yes. So you can go to the Wi-Fi and go to Children's Guest, and it shouldn't ask for any password or anything like that. Okay, by show of hands, who is on the internet and in Canvas at this point? Most people, okay. And if you're not, that's okay. So again, Canvas is your one-stop shop for LEND. You will not be expected to check your emails regularly about LEND activities, because you're going to see announcements pop through. And the way that Canvas is built, so I will just give you the warning. And I think we mentioned this on Wednesday, but it's worth mentioning again. You may have to go into your account and your settings to change your profile and change your settings to Eastern Standard Time, because it defaults to Mountain Standard Time. So things that will land on your calendar will show 2 hours later than they really are. So just wanting to let you know that. So I'm showing you right now a test student. So I'm just in student mode. When you're in your account, you can add a picture. You, I think it was Bailey the other day found out, oh, I can't do this because I'm in student, not a student. But once you're in there, you can play around with your account profile, add a picture, change your pronouns, do quite a bit of things in there. But again, changing your time zone can be really helpful. Anybody having trouble? It should be canvas.instructure.com. And then it will get you to the login or no? Yes, so you should. Okay. So once you're in Canvas, and Jen will come around and help if you have any questions. So just pop up your hand or flag down Jen and she'll help you if you're still having difficulty getting into Canvas. Or if you just want to bag it and sit next to somebody who's already in, that's totally fine too. So, so this is the homepage, and this is where your announcements will come up. I'm going to start with key dates. So I put this in the announcement so it'll always be there for you. The key dates across the entire year are important because of a couple things. Number one, we're already almost through here, the orientation. Next Tuesday will be our first full day of Lend. So after today, you should know where you'll go Tuesday morning, and you should know where you definitely should know to come here at 1 o'clock on Tuesday afternoon. We are not going to have any classes over the entire week of Thanksgiving. So obviously we wouldn't be here on Thursday of Thanksgiving, but we're not going to be here on Tuesday either. So that is an opportunity for you. If you need to add clinics in the morning or the afternoon, you're able to. If you need to make up time, just let your supervisors or preceptors know. And then let's see. The last day of this semester will be December 8th. It's a Thursday. Okay, so we will have from basically December 9th all the way through January 9th off. You're welcome. We used to only give people 3 weeks, but the way that the calendars fall, you get 4. So you'll come back in 2023, which is like hard to say, like, holy cow, how is it 2023? On January 10th, which is a Tuesday. And then we'll go through pretty much until most of January, all of February. And then we wait to make this call until we get more information from the state. One of the advocacy activities that we do is to take you all to Columbus to do legislative visits with Ohio state legislators. So not Rob Portman and Sherrod Brown, because they're federal level, but more state level folks like Cecil Thomas and Brad Wenstrup are a couple of names that you may hear around. We will do that when it's announced. It's typically the first Wednesday of March because March is Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month. So the way that the month falls this year, though, February 28th is Tuesday, March 1st is Wednesday. My guess is that they'll do it on Wednesday. And you're thinking to yourself, well, Wednesday's not a Lend day. Correct. However, with this much advance notice, we'd like for you to work it out so that you can block that first Wednesday. And we will confirm as soon as we know from the state. Usually Jane Gerhart, our policy specialist, is on the planning committee. So we know, like, before it's even announced online. We will not have Lend that Tuesday. So that's your flip with your school placement, with your other placement, with your clinical work, whatever. We will not have Lend that Tuesday at all, even in the afternoon, to make up for the fact that we will be gone the entire day. Usually the last few years it's fallen on Wednesdays. Okay, questions about that? Okay, so then we will also not be in any Lend sessions on Tuesdays or on Tuesday or Thursday of spring break, which is UC spring break the week of March 13th through 17th. So for many of you, that means you will do nothing. And for some of you, that means you will add a lot of clinic on Tuesday and Thursday afternoons to make up time, right? So talk to your disciplinary supervisors about that, but we will not be here in the afternoons on Tuesdays and Thursdays of spring break. Tuesday and Thursday, sorry, not multiples. Then on April 13th, we are tentatively scheduled, and we usually do this the last, 10 years, pretty much. We've done it the second Tuesday of April. Is an entire day activity with the Nisanger Center for highlighting our research projects, so our SCBM team projects. And for Nellie and Bailey, this would be for your thesis. Okay, so we have our posters printed. Last year, we finally got to do it back in person. We actually hosted in this room. We might have to move it due to COVID, but we'll figure that out later. And we get to spend the day with the Nisanger trainees and staff, highlighting our posters, having lunch and whatnot. So that is tentatively scheduled for April 13th. So that would be something that would likely start around 10 and end at 3. So just be mindful that you wouldn't be able to do a full clinic block in the morning to let your supervisors know ahead of time. Okay. And then the last day of Lend is April 27th. So it's the last Thursday in April. And we always host the following Tuesday, some sort of Lend graduation in the evening so that loved ones can join us if possible. And obviously the last few years that's been virtually. Hopefully your class, we will be able to get back out into a restaurant, brewery out, space where we can be together in person. So based on these key dates, what questions have come up? Okay. All right. Then, if you move to modules, I've built out the first 2 weeks, and the first 2 weeks will be what you can expect for the rest of the year. So you have all of your LEND welcome and program information always at the top to refer back to. So the orientation information, your policies and procedures manual, your handbook, any Canvas help, your questions, or there's some kind of job aids and helps built in there. All your COVID resources, this LEND curriculum graphic that we had printed for you the other day. The other thing I want to bring your attention to is the LEND course map. Yeah, Julie, go ahead. The self-screen? Sure can. Yeah, we can build that in as just something at the top. Is that what you mean? Yeah, we can do that. Oh, it is there. It is there. Yep, it's in there. It's right here.
Thank you.
Oh, for some reason, why is it saying it's failing to preview though? Are other people seeing it?
Because I played around yesterday and I couldn't get in. I didn't see what I was looking for, so that's why.
Yeah, you can see it.
You can see it? Okay. For some reason, I don't know if it's because I'm sharing my screen or what's going on, but it is there. And then there's the automation. The other thing I want to point out real quick is that if you are on site and you go to Centerlink, which is our internal homepage for Children's Hospital, it is now built in to be on the main homepage, the main landing page. But of course, it's going to take a minute. Come on, little buddy. There we go. So now it's right here. The daily self-screen. Right on the homepage. So as soon as you log into any Cincinnati Children's computer, this will automatically populate on your screen and you'll be able to go to it right here. Actually, I'll just do it real quick because I don't think I've done it yet today. Boom. No symptoms. Thanks. Bye. Okay.
Can I just point out one thing
Yeah.
with that? So you can go to that link where the self screen is,
Mm-hmm.
like say on your mobile device.
Yep.
You can click like share or something. There's a button to do add to home screen.
Oh, beautiful.
It creates a button on your phone. You can push it and it pulls up.
Awesome. So then it's just right there on your mobile device every day. You just click that thing and boop. Yeah, great. Thank you for sharing that with everyone. Okay, so then jumping into the course map, it will always have a date for when it was approved. So this was just approved earlier this week. So why is none of this working, guys? All right. I apologize. Oh, nope, there it is. I'm going to stop share and reshare this Word document. So you've heard us a little bit describe you guys as the LEND cohort. You are the main LEND cohort. We also have folks that are not part of the cohort, but still participate in portions of LEND. And so this year, this is what we call the course map, or what LEND Light trainees are able to come to and what they're not able to come to, because we want to keep it a little bit more cohesive with just your cohort for various reasons. We talk a lot, we talk a lot about personal histories and things like that. And it's just a lot easier to feel vulnerable and comfortable when you know the people that you're, sharing with. So the blue sessions are open to all LEND Light participants, and the orange sessions are for you guys only. So the LEND Light participants, Nellie and Bailey know a lot of them because it's their second year genetic counseling cohort members have a certain number of core sessions that they attend. We also have another psychology trainee, another social work trainee, and a couple other various disciplines that will also be joining us for some of these orange open sessions. Or I'm sorry, some of these blue open sessions. My apologies. So just letting you know that that's what this is and that's what that means. So you can expect that it's just, you're going to be you guys next Tuesday. But then on Thursday, it's going to be anybody that wants to attend. Okay. Typically, it will be core on Thursdays where we have extra voices, extra folks. It's also an opportunity for some of our practicing professionals to receive continuing education credit. So you will have some folks that maybe share their experiences because they've been working in the field for a long time. So just to kind of give you a heads up on that. And of course, this has already changed because the speaker will be changed. So just check back. I will always replace it with the newly updated one. All right. You will also see a second semester once the second semester is completely built out. All right, I'm going to try to go back to student view so I can show you guys what you're seeing. Oh man, doesn't like me today. All right, while we're doing that, first scavenger hunt question is, when is your first LEND assignment due and what is it? All right, I'm just gonna start over. Go ahead, Katie, take a stab. Something even before that. Book club is Tuesday, so you gotta finish your book reading. Yeah, what survey? And the diversity, equity, inclusion survey for everybody. And for the clinical folks, the cultural humility survey. So it is going to be sent at noon today. You have from noon today until 1 p.m. on Monday. We'd like for you to take it before you've had any LEND curriculum. Does that make sense? And Vicki will keep sending it until you take it. So just take it. It really is a short one. I would say at most 20 minutes for both. So 10 or 15 for the first one, if that's the only one you have to take. So let's try this again. If it'll let me do student view and share screen. Awesome. What is going to be our LEND session in core course next Thursday? Lisa?
For intellectual developmental.
Yeah, let's talk louder than that.
Oh, sorry, it's for intellectual developmental disabilities.
Awesome. Yep, taught by Lindsay Mays. Unless she has gone into labor, then you're stuck with me. All right, awesome. So I think I'm back in action. The other thing I wanted to mention in modules, the LEND welcome module. And again, if this is going to overwhelm you, don't open it yet. However, we have built you a spreadsheet of all of the LEND assignments. Okay, and so we've heard over the years, don't just give me what's to do next week. I want to know and plan for the whole year. Great, however your brain works. For me, I'd be like, no thanks. I'll take it month to month. It really just depends on you, but I wanted to at least bring your awareness to, again, this is something that we've dated as of 8/15. It is subject to change, but I will always replace the old one and upload the new one with a new date. So the way that this Excel spreadsheet is built is that you have a tab for every single assignment. Then it's broken down by your general assignments, things like surveys that you just complete as part of the entire LEND experience. Then you have assignments built out by each course. So leadership is the longest, it has the most assignments, ITT, core, and SCBM, okay? It is not one to work with me here. Nonetheless, if you have questions about it, don't hesitate to reach out. If you find an error, we're human. Please let us know, okay? We haven't yet mentioned grace and gratitude. However, grace and gratitude is our one Cincinnati Children's mantra during COVID. And so if someone corrects you on something, accept that feedback like a nice warm hug. Thank you for the feedback and change your behavior, right? Same for us. Please use grace and gratitude with us. We will accept the feedback graciously and make the changes, right? So, and especially this year, we have a new admin who's never done this, and we have a new family faculty. And so, especially, when they have questions, when you ask them questions, they may say, let me check with Jen and Steph first, because I'm not quite sure. Okay, so just letting you guys know that.
So do you mind showing
Yeah.
where that Excel sheet was?
Yep, it is the in modules. The lend welcome / program information at the very top module, and then it's all the way at the bottom, assignment due dates chronological. All right. Then this little caret here can make any module hidden. So once we're done with week 1, you can hide it. It's gone. Then it automatically takes your screen to week 2. Okay, so again, as I mentioned on Tuesday, all of the Lend Canvas modules are built across the week. So everything in there for next week is in week 1, Tuesday, 8/23, Thursday, 8/25. Usually on Sundays or Mondays, I will put in an overview and weekly announcement. This is just for folks that may like to see cute pictures, may want to see a broken down to-do list. And I will also put your favorite leadership quotes here at the bottom, just something fun to do in there. So every week you'll see this populated, and it kind of is a way for us to add another little email to you guys with reminders or heads ups or things like that. Usually if I put it in here and it's something that we really need you to know, I'll also put it in announcements. So every week we'll have an overview and announcements. Every week we'll also then include the 1 o'clock session, the 3 o'clock session on Tuesday, the 1 o'clock session, and the 3 o'clock session on Thursday. However, once we start with SCBM team meetings, this is just going to say SCBM team meeting because you're going to know where you're going to go, right? So next week, and I try to make sure that it's in order. Again, it really just depends on how your settings are, and I can't guarantee that it's always going to show up in order the way that I have it on your screen, but it should be in the order of the way things happen. So your DEIJ and cultural humility survey is the first thing due next week. Then you come to session for values and disabilities book club from 1 to 3. Then you would complete a survey about that session. We will survey the bejesus out of you guys. There is going to be a million surveys. And why is that? It's not for fun for us, right? But it is more for 2 main reasons. One, we want to make sure this is the best experience for you all. And so if we don't know what you like and dislike as we go, we can't monitor and make changes. So we monitor these at least on a monthly basis to know what speakers are not going to be invited back, what speakers are amazing, what experiences are awesome, how we can make it better. So please do those surveys. You're going to get busy. They're 11 questions, and half of the questions are like, I'm a student, I'm this, blah, blah, right? Just let us know how you like that session. There is one open-ended box. You don't have to be long-winded about it, but the comments are so helpful for us. And if you ever have any interest in being an educator in the future, get in the habit of leaving comments, because those comments are like gold to us. It helps us get promotions. It helps us feel really good about ourselves. It helps us know where to get better. Okay. So we really, really value these surveys. There's a survey after every single whole group session. Okay. And again, less than 5 minutes. So you'll complete that survey. They are open for 1 week. We only keep them open for a week because we figure If it's after a week, you've probably forgotten what that, how you felt about that session. And we really want you to do it as soon as you can. Then Jen will come next week and talk in 3 to 5 around leadership in those True North book and field book we gave you. You'll do a survey about that session. Tuesday's all done then. Thursday, you'll come at 1 and Lindsay will hopefully be here talking about intellectual and developmental disabilities, and you'll do a survey about that. Thursday afternoon, we're gonna have all of the team leads for the research teams come and present what the projects are that you could choose to work on. All the information is in there. Then you don't have to do a survey for that one because there's a team preference survey. So that's where you rank order which project you want to work on. Okay, before I get into the modules and dig into one, what questions have come up?
Are we supposed to read the True North book then?
Yeah, the entire one. No. Yeah, no. She's like, I did medical school. That was expected. No, absolutely not. No, we will let you know incrementally what assignments are due. And if it's not listed in the assignments, it is not something you have to do, right? So you will know. Really, that book and the field book are there for your professional development and your own use in library. But Jen will talk through next week how we might use it throughout the year and how you can apply it. But I was just kidding. You do not have to read it. Please, please, please. I am very sarcastic at times. Please do not feel like you have to read that whole book. The only whole book that you'll read this year is the Dare to Lead book. That's the only one that we assign the entire book. And we won't talk about it until end of January. So heads up on that. Okay, great. So this survey, you click into it, it will tell you surveys coming from Red Cap. Do it before Tuesday at 1. Everyone completes the DEIJ survey, diversity, equity, inclusion, and justice survey. Only those that are in clinical disciplines complete the cultural humility survey. Okay. I usually always just go back to modules. Visually, it helps me. And then click in what to expect for leadership next week from 1 to 3. Maybe. There we go. Okay. So this is what you'll expect. This was our reading assignment that you were mailed this summer. You have your book. Kara has added a couple social media handles for the authors, which I thought was awesome. So feel free to check those out. You'll see who your faculty is because that person is listed first, who's going to kind of be part of your book club discussion. And then you'll see who the other people are that read the book that you read. So we will have an activity where we do breakouts to discuss, but Dr. Ayers will also be sharing some lecture slides here. She's already uploaded them. Check out this video also. So if it's in course materials, check it out before you come. Okay, so course materials is something to look at before session. Now, if you're like me, I like to hear first and then read later. That's okay. We're not expecting you to read everything before you come. That might not be the way you learn. Honestly, that's not the way I learn. I like to do it after I've had a chance to kind of dig into it and talk about it first, and then it makes more sense once I read through something. So really what we've tried to do is build in more videos for you guys to see and hear things first before you come. There are a couple things that are definitely you have to do before you come, including evidence-based case discussion. That is just more to come in depth on that in a couple weeks, but you read the article, you write a discussion board post, then you come to class kind of thing. So these are all optional resources and you'll see that in there. Oh my word, if you have 20 minutes, watch Dr. Ayers do a TEDx talk. Oh, I still have goosebumps thinking about it. It was pre-COVID, so we were there in person and she was amazing. So definitely check out these things if you can. So yeah, that's kind of how they'll look. You'll also see us populate a Zoom link. So this is where you'll go if you are at any time not able to join and need to be away. And then once that session is over, the video recording will be turned into a YouTube link and it will be housed here. Okay. Questions? Let's see, I can't show you a survey because they're not set to open until right after the session ends, but again, they're very quick. On Tuesday for Jen's session. Jen, do you want to update your slides?
I'm going to.
Okay, so you'll see this updated. Again, extra, if you want to watch this video, oh, I already uploaded the Zoom link in there. Was that the new? Yeah, that's the new Zoom link. Just so you guys know, our new Zoom link for this entire year for every session ends in 8032. So if it's not 8032, it's not the correct link. Okay. Okay. Then the last section I wanted us to check out was the assignments. The assignments, the modules have everything built in as assignments so that it shows up on the calendar. The assignments are also here as they're built into Canvas. And we build it obviously in that Excel document, that spreadsheet. You should be able to see by date what is upcoming that's already approved and in there. Right? Then you can also do by type. So you have orientation, leadership assignments, core assignments, SCBM. These aren't necessarily assignments. They're just how, if you don't mark it as an assignment in Canvas, it doesn't show up on the calendar. So it's just a workaround, but everything is listed as a quote assignment. The other thing I want to point out, and we'll talk about it more this afternoon, but there are conference opportunities. So if you have time over lunch and you want to check out that, the two conferences that are coming up that you have to apply for by the end of September are AUCD, which is the Association of University Centers on Disabilities. And that was in Washington, D.C. in November, or OCALICON, which is the Ohio Center for Autism and Low Incidence, their annual big worldwide conference. And that is in Columbus, Ohio. We're lucky to have them, a worldwide organization right up the highway. So check out that if you're interested. Oops, I meant to go back to assignments. Okay, so what questions come up? Okay. Where would you find the SCBM preference survey? This is a trick question. There's multiples. Oh, you have a question, Caitlin. No, you already did find it, right? No.
About just the conferences in general,
Yeah.
did you say, or maybe Sally said this, like about helping with like funding to go to conferences?
Yes, no. Yeah, so that's a great question. So if you apply to go to these conferences, Lend funds your trip. So that doesn't mean that we will pay for it all in advance. There is some things like the hotel that have to be booked, you pay for them and then we reimburse you. Same with food and transportation to and from an airport or mileage, but airline flights, we book ahead of time. Everything else you pay for and then we reimburse. And if there's any issues with that, we know that's coming from a very privileged place of like, oh yeah, I can just front like $500 for a hotel room. It's really a lot more than that in DC. And that's okay. Like we will work it out. Just don't let costs prohibit you from wanting to go. Okay, we will make it work. But yeah, we will fund everything, whether it's on the front end or the back end. The front end is going to take a little bit more, but we will do it if it's absolutely needed, right? Okay.
Is it more of a process after you've already gone that you apply to get reimbursed or?
Yes, in that policies and procedures manual, all the travel pieces are in there. And that's like your handbook for how do I get reimbursed for all this stuff? We don't reimburse food receipts. We just do per diem. So that's the only thing. And it will say it in there how much it is. It's not very much. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And honestly, AUCD as of yesterday hasn't even announced where the conference is being held. they were still working out details on, like, I can't believe this. Yeah, it's kind of mind blowing, but I think going back in person after 2 years, it was like, what's going on? And of course, everything is inflation, so they're trying to keep it cost effective-ish for folks. But yeah, we will help. We will eventually cover the cost for everything. How about that? So that is AUCD, OCALI-Con in the fall, EDDie, which is the Early Hearing Detection and Intervention Conference, and Disability Policy Seminar in the spring. And then we all just do a trip to Columbus together. One year, Jen even leveraged her bus connections, and we rode a school bus. I won't do that again, I'll be honest.
It was so fun.
It was so fun, but I was like sore afterwards. Like my body is not used to riding a bus. Okay. I know this kind of feels like, drawn out, but trust me, once you get in there, you're going to be like, where is this? It's in there. This is like your syllabus. If you're in grad school or when, it's been a while, your teacher would always say, it's in the syllabus. Look in the syllabus. This core group of modules in Canvas, this is your syllabus. It will be in there if it's not yet, but basically everything is in here for the first 2 weeks. Everything that you need for the first 2 weeks is already in here. Okay. Well, if you guys don't have questions, sorry to almost go till 12. I thought we might get done a little early. So have your lunch. We'll be back at 1. Why, thank you. So, no, I got it. Oh, good. So core course, you've heard a lot about. Let me let these people in the waiting room. We will not let blue sky timer. I don't want to. Hi, Michelle. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Great. Thanks for jumping on. We're just getting back going this afternoon. And so I'm going to pull up and share slides. So in just a second, I'll see if you can see them. Technically, I'm going to pull up a PDF because for some reason this is all we can locate.
Okay.
Can you see interdisciplinary core course, or are you still seeing just Canvas?
I can see interdisciplinary core course.
Oh, cool. Okay, great. Let me try to move this down. This. Come on. Well, Jen, any idea on why?
What's wrong?
Like this won't move down. It'd be the whole page.
That's weird.
I know, right? Hang on. Try again. Well, now it wants to work. Great. Okay. Can you see that, Michelle, where it says interdisciplinary core course coordinator?
Yes, I can. I can see it well.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so as mentioned multiple times, core course is Thursdays from 1 to 3. And I'm the course coordinator, so if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. We are covering a wide array of topics in developmental disabilities. So we do this from a life course perspective, where we start at the beginning of the year, going through kind of general disability topics like intellectual and developmental disabilities and the history of developmental disabilities and advocacy movements. And then we go into prenatal brain development, early intervention, and then move through towards the end of the year. We're talking about transition to adulthood and employment, living situations, what happens after the school bus stops coming, all of that comes at the end of the LEND year. I mentioned before, there will be those LEND Light students or trainees or practicing professionals. We no longer have everyone take this book with them because we found this is just a lot. So instead, what you'll see in Canvas is built in PDFs of the PowerPoints. So they're basically the high points of this book. Now, if you want to nerd out and read the chapters, this book is available. Multiple copies of this book are available in the Lend Lounge upstairs on the 6th floor. So feel free. But this is the book that we draw from. Then when we think about the overarching areas, we're talking about intellectual and developmental disabilities throughout everything, obviously. Life course and public health perspectives are interwoven throughout these sessions, as well as we never talk about anything without talking about the family patient partnerships with the professionals. We will spend time talking about medical home. And so medical home is not a place, it's a state of being, if you will. So you'll learn more about that and how medical home is so important for our individuals with developmental concerns. And then we cover different life stages, different populations, and specific conditions. You will get to hear from Dr. Patty Manning this year on autism. She created the autism center that we have here back in 1999. So it's so cool that you'll get those kinds of expert presenters sharing what they've devoted their careers to. This is just, again, another list. And another thing about Core Course that's so great is that some of you will have the opportunity to teach with your core faculty, or maybe next year we invite you back to co-teach. So I know probably Maggie and Sarah have already talked with Leslie Razorbecker about co-teaching speech language development. It's your bread and butter. You guys are going to help co-teach that. If you haven't learned that already, surprise. And then some other things. So Kavia's not here, but she'll help co-teach the ABA session with Dr. Lori Vincent in the spring. And so just some various other folks. So if you have an interest in presenting and getting teaching skills, don't hesitate to let us know. We'll do it in whatever way we can to meet your goals. The only assignment that is required in written form, because it is for a course grade for a few folks in the room, particularly the genetic counselors, are the core course essays. And so Angel, our former trainee from last year who had popped in on Tuesday, had mentioned, don't wait till the end to write these. At the end of the first semester and the end of the second semester, you will write 3 essays based on 3 of the different topics from core course. So say, for example, you want to write a reflection on how you will apply next week's session on intellectual and developmental disabilities, go ahead and write it. The answers are, the prompts are, how are you going to implement the new knowledge, skill, or resource to work with and on behalf of people with disabilities? That's literally all it is, right? I don't want you to regurgitate what you learned. I want you to apply it to your future, right? I already know, 1 in 44 kids has autism. I need you to know, how will that information change your practice, right? So your 3 to 4 key take-home points, what really resonated for you, and your 300 to 350 words. And people say, well, are the 3 or 4 key take-home points part of the 300 to 350 words? Either way works for me. If you can get your key take-home points and your assignment written in 350 words, good for you. That's another piece of this process, being succinct with your writing. That's another reason that we do these in short increments, because you got to be succinct, because part of being a practicing professional is getting your thoughts out in a clear, cohesive way. So this gives you that opportunity to practice that. That's it. Core course is rather straightforward. But if there are questions, now's the time. Cool. All right, what's next? Our activity. Okay, so Michelle, I think because of the way the system works, if you're available, we can get you into a different computer potentially. Do you think we could put her on a computer and have her sit at a table with somebody?
Yeah.
You just give us a second. We'll figure it out. But I'm gonna pause this recording. So we have another